Guys, King Chief here. Gonna do a 7 round mock draft today. I don't think they have the comp pick on the PFF yet. Pretty sure that it's gonna be end of round 3, so 102, 103, 104, somewhere in there. But I just want to talk about a couple things first. I know a lot of people want a wide receiver, but I don't really feel like we need one. I know we don't have much cap either, but we could really make some moves and, get around. I think it's the article I read's around like 55 million in cap space. So that should be enough to tag Brown, bring in a free agent wide receiver, and, pay for our draft class and still have, a little bit left for that second, third run of free agents. So really what I think we need is just a defensive overhaul, complete defensive overhaul. So that's what we're going to do today. I do take right tackles here and there if like Max Mitchell falls. I think that kid's, through and through a right tackle. So we'll see what happens here. But, a lot of people, like I said, they want that wide receiver or, complain about taking a running back. A lot of people are still sore about the CEH pick, which so am I. I get it, but I do feel like we need that all-around back, good size, a bruiser with some speed. Hopefully we can bring McKinnon back, so we have that speed around the edge. But we really do need a bruiser back. Our backs are just too small, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" max, almost 200 pounds. I mean, yeah, they have the weight, but they're just, at 5'8", I mean, they're just not that big. And 200 pounds is the extent of what they're going to be able to put on healthy weight. So without further ado, let's get this going here. And honestly, what I've been doing is trading out of the first round unless someone falls there that I really like. I've been trading out because usually I've been taking edge rushers, which you can see on PFF. Cameron Thomas is at 40, Jermaine Johnson is at 42, and Ogbar is 44. So right in that 40s range is really where I like to go with the trade and just try to pick up 2 or 3 more extra top 100 picks, because I really think that we need it. We're going to need those, 5 or 6 top 100 picks to reload this defense and really fill it out nicely, in my opinion. And I mean, every other year we're trading our first rounder for, a player or whatever the case may be. So it really wouldn't surprise me to see Veed straight out of the first round for a couple extra picks here. Let's move that out of the way here. All right, so we're right in that 40s range here. The Seahawks want to come up and get someone, so like I said, let's try to get as many picks as we can. Going back 12 spots, it wouldn't be too much to ask. So let's see. I won't force it. I'll just offer it. I'm not going to force a trade. Just see what we can get. Okay, they didn't accept it. So let's change that 106 to the 112. No, I didn't like that either. So let's do this. Not quite top 100, but pretty close. I'd say that should be a no-brainer for them to jump in the first round. Okay, here we go. At 42, I like the Arnold kid from Penn State. Jermaine Johnson still on the board. Nick Benito, Messiah Sanders. I do like all those kids as well. Yeah, so right now it's between Arnold and Jermaine Johnson. Let's just go with JJ from Florida State. So our next pick here is at 62. Okay, so we have our edge rusher. Okay, next, I love Jalen Petrie from Baylor. He's a safety, not a cornerback, in my opinion. Some people think he is just that nickel cornerback, but I really feel like he pretty much does everything the Badger does. So if he doesn't come back, I mean, I think this pick is really a no-brainer here. Hopefully he does fall here. He probably won't, but if he does, hopefully we move up, use our comp pick or something to move up and try to grab this guy, because he's really just, I think he's like 6 foot, so he's got decent size. And like I said, he's pretty much the honey badger coming out. He can do everything he does. And I just love the kid. I really do. All right, we're picking. So we have 3 picks here, pretty much back to back. Let's see what we can get. Okay, we have our edge rusher. We have our safety. So obviously corner is where we need to go. And I really like Marcus Jones. He has tons and tons of pass breakups. I really feel like he's just overshadowed by Gardner. And if Gardner wasn't on the team, I do feel like Marcus Jones would have some more top first, second round buzz. Little undersized, I believe. He's like 5'10" or 5'11", but as you can see, he's the 17th cornerback in the PFF at 883, and he picked off 5 passes and broke up 12 others, and that's what I'm looking for in a corner, a guy that's gonna, make those turnovers, get his hands on the ball, stop drives, and just make turnovers, and that's what we need in this defense. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to fill that corner position, and we're going to give Marcus Jones here at 94. Okay, here at 106, the next guy I like in this draft is Jojo Doman. I believe he's 6'1". They have him, he played linebacker at Nebraska. He did play in the nickel a lot. Let's see what they say on him. 6'1", 230-pound linebacker. It says the role that he played was close of a slot cornerback. He earned a 87.8 coverage grade to go with an 83.1 run defense grade. He's grading out as the 12th corner in theirs, but to me, he's your will linebacker. He's covering tight ends, he's covering running backs. He's good against the run, and really with Willie Gay playing the Sam, and obviously Nick Bolton is going to be our middle linebacker next year, and obviously I'm pretty sure everyone is safe to assume that Hitch is going to be a cap casualty. I really think we need that will linebacker, that nickel linebacker, and we know how Spags is. He likes guys that can do more than one thing, and JoJo is just a chess piece, in my opinion. You can put him anywhere you want. He is kind of like a cornerback, but really strong at the line of scrimmage. Kind of reminds me of Dan a little bit as far as what he can do, and hopefully they let Dan walk in free agency this year and draft a guy like JoJo to take his place. And if not, we can run out of the base more, which I think we have the most success with. And anyway, enough about Jojo here, but I'm going to take him here at 106. So 112. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so there's a couple guys I like here. Javon Healy, I think that's how you say it, from Coastal Carolina. The kid's got crazy talent. Not a lot of people talking about him for whatever reason. And then you have Neil Farrell Jr. from LSU for the defensive interior. Really like the kid. He's great against the run, and really he's an interior pass rusher. I mean, he just causes problems. And I really like him, especially here at 112. You know, his rank is 124. I think he should be a little higher than that, but better for us. Up here at the top, I think the only other guy I like here is the Luke Goodicke from Central Michigan. I think Central Michigan is really putting out some great offensive line talent. I don't know who the coach is down there, but the guy just needs raised because he's finding crazy good talent for such a small school, and taking projects and really turning them into some great tackles here. As you can see, he's graded from 5th tackle in the class. Like I said, I believe we need our right tackle. Lucas Niang, you know, his injury for a big man, it might be hard for him to come back. I was always a Niang fan, but, you know, 2 years off, you could tell that he put on some weight, wasn't really moving the same after the injury. As much as I would like to go defense here or wide receiver, let's see if they fall, you know, down to our 132 pick. Hopefully one of those guys will be there for us. But obviously, you know, we can't have a guard playing tackle. I really like the Luke kid. So that's what we're going to go here. Let's just finish out our line rebuild and get a right tackle for the future without doing so in free agency and having to spend that money. So let's take Luke here. Okay, so here, I already talked about these two guys. Like I said, wide receiver, I believe they'll fix in free agency. So, not going to pick Javon here. As much as I like him, like I said, this is more about the defense. So, Neil Farrell Jr., great interior pass rusher, and definitely going to need the depth there. So, that's where I'm going here. So, it'll be a second before our next pick here. 192, because we don't have a pick in between there. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. Not many guys here. I do like Chris Paul. He's more of a guard. Along with, where is he? Must have missed him. Cordell Volson, more likely a guard. Volson had a great year this year. Great Senior Bowl. Have to see. Austin Deculus is probably more of a guard in the league, but the kid is massive. Great run blocker. Great run blocker. Definitely needs some work in the pass sets, but he's just a monster of a man. Would like to go defense here. but we pretty much filled the needs that we had. And I hate reaching too far. So, let's see. I think we'll just go Volson here. Just some depth on the offensive line. It's always needed. And we have a lot of one-year deals on the interior, so let's just go ahead and take Volson here. Where to go next? Where to go to next? I think we'll just go with Balin Spector. He's a good coverage guy. I played with a broken hand in, I believe, the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, one of them. Actually picked off a pass with the club on, so could always use the depth and just reloading this defense. So we'll go ahead and take Balin Spector there. I do like the O'Neal Jr. kid as safety, but we already have a safety. We already grabbed a safety here. I'm gonna take Tariq Woolen, just some corner depth. And again, since we've pretty much hit every other spot, I'm going to take Zion McCollum. These two are Senior Bowl guys, both kind of showed out. And if they're down here in the 7th, I mean, you'd be really kind of dumb not to grab these guys here. So let's see what we got going on here. Okay, this Dominic Robinson from Miami, Ohio, is really raw, has the size, definitely a work in progress in my opinion, but we just need the depth, and if he turns into something, then great, and if not, he's a practice squad guy with depth from a small school, just converted to edge, I believe, this year, so really raw. But I'm going to go ahead and take him with our last pick here. And finish out and see our results here. Sorry for all the background noise, guys. I'm outside. It's really the only place I can get peace and quiet in my house. So figured when I was letting my dogs out, I could get you guys a new mock draft here. All right, so like I said, I traded out of 30, picked up 2 extra top 100 picks, basically. I would have liked to get that 74 off them, but they weren't budging off of it. But I'll take the 106 and 112. So, want Jermaine Johnson. Really like the kid. It's good pass rusher moves, and really like that kid, and I think he could help from day one, along with Jalen Petrie. If the Honey Badger doesn't take less money to stick around and goes elsewhere, I really feel like he's a plug and play in his spot, along with Marcus Jones. We could lose a couple guys in the cornerback room this year. We don't really have the money to pay, top dollar, so if guys aren't taking pay cuts, we're probably losing them. So Marcus Jones, really underrated in my opinion. And then you have Jojo Doman, basically a corner, but he's that will linebacker for me. I'd love to see that kid on this team. He's just, he can play so many different spots on the defense. It's just like a chess piece, in my opinion. Then at 112, got a right tackle of the future and Luke Gadecki from Central Michigan, which I think their whole offensive line is probably going to get drafted this year. And then at 132, it's already talked about Neil Farrell, interior pass rusher, great on the inside. 192, kind of finished out the offensive line here with Bradell Volson. Lays as a tackle, he can play tackle, but in our league, I think he'd be better suited as a guard. And, with injuries, you never know. So then I went with Balin Spector. JoJo, they decide he's more of a corner than he is a will linebacker. I think Balin can step into that role. And then the last 3 7th-round picks, Tariq Woolen and Zion McCollum, both corners, both played pretty well in the Senior Bowl. They're not the biggest corners in the world, but definitely have the talent there and just need coached up, along with Mick Robinson, small school prospect. Just switched to the edge position, so like I said, he's really raw. He put up mediocre numbers, but like I said, can't argue the depth there. So yeah, go ahead and let me know what you guys think. I really think this is kind of the way the draft should go for us. Just keep hitting the defense. Maybe that right tackle, depending on where Lucas Niang is, and a little bit of depth in there too. But other than the offensive line, like I said, I think wide receiver, they'll probably grab Juju or one of these free agents for that number 2 spot. But yeah, this is basically probably, I would say, my top mock draft. Got all the guys that I like, and I really think that this would overhaul this defense into something that could carry this team if it has to. Some games we needed to be able to depend on our defense, and obviously you've seen that games that we had to depend on the defense, they didn't end so well for us. So just let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you watching. All right, guys, King Chief out.